thought I would just take you along and show you what I've been up to this last week that I have been kind of absent.
Since I haven't been in the classroom, this is what I've been working on while I've been on summer break. Tidying up my home. I'm sorry the lighting is so bad. It is 1:15 in the afternoon, and so we have good sunlight in some places and not in others, so I'll let the lighting adjust. But my dining room is finally back in order, and my kitchen counters are cleaned off. And I've got everything neat and tidy. It makes me so happy when I walk in here. I feel like I can think about what I want to cook and what I want to do. It actually makes me want to cook because everything's nice and organized again. Got these from the Target dollar spot, and they fit in my refrigerator really nicely, so I may be doing that sometime. My little Keurig drink center is all organized over here. Makes me so happy. Plus, I've been working on organizing underneath cabinets. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see some of these pictures there. But I threw away so much stuff, just junk. Do you guys just throw like your plastic bags from Walmart and the grocery store just like everywhere underneath your sink? This is more organized. I have 2 things of lids now, and they all have bottoms that they match, which is awesome. I organized this drawer. This one's quite organized now, but I have all my straws in different places. We have disposable straws, and then they kind of go in the little reusable cups like that one. Those are in there. My refrigerator is beautiful now, organized and clean, and even room for when my blue Apron boxes come. I can put all of my ingredients in here. The door is nice and organized. Bottles are falling over, so I need to get my water bottles in there. Nice, and I finally got my freezer done, which, oh, that was a nightmare. Freezer's nice and organized too. All of my freezer packs for lunches are up here. Some frozen drinks, some of my husband's giant ice globes that he puts in his huge thermos because he's a mechanic and he gets terribly hot. Also, my lovely junk drawer that is not completely junky now. You can actually find things in it so much better, I cannot even tell you. And then my pots and pans shelf that pulls out has all of my cooking pans and things in there that I can get to. My colanders, my stock pot. My cat is trying to help. This is Onyx. Say hi, Onyx. Say hi. Yeah, she's my helper. And then I found a ton when I was cleaning my pantry. Back up, Sweet Pea. Found a ton of Ziplocs and wraps and foils and just all kinds of storage things. So this whole bottom shelf now is dedicated to just that kind of stuff. So much easier to find. And now when I run out of it down here, it's all, show this, it's all in there. And so I don't go buy more because I know what I have. Like I had some stored in the pantry and some stored in there. And so I didn't know exactly what I had. So, and there's the cat dishes nice and clean. My daughter loves plants. That's why you see plants everywhere. She has, let me try not to make you sick as I pan around. You see on the window ledge coming up right here. You can't really see them very well. She loves mason jars, and she has the little chalkboard, like clippy labels that came from the dollar spot. I think maybe last summer or the summer before. You can't read them because of the sun glare, but she has basil, rosemary, cilantro, thyme, and parsley. The problem with this is it's very conveniently located at a cat's biting level, which is why some of them don't have anything in them at the moment, because one of my lovelies has decided that he likes herbs. And I'll show you what else he did right here. Here's what I found this morning when I got up. Check this out. This is my MacBook from school. This is the cord, or what used to be the cord. Look at this. These parts used to be attached to each other. So now, look at this. Yeah, so apparently he had a good old time sometime in the night chewing to his heart's content until he destroyed it. Yeah, so first thing I did after I got over my irritation was get on Amazon and find another cord. So I'm paying the $4 for the 1-day shipping so I can have my cord, because not only did he kill my cord, my computer was dead as well. So that's super fun. Yeah. So I thought I would just kind of catch you up on what I've been doing the last week or so that I've not been vlogging. First of all, in Missouri, it is summer, of course, and it's, you know, upwards of between 80 and 90 degrees on any given day. And it's also rainy. And unfortunately, my head is a barometer. And so when the pressure fronts come in, I get a horrible headache. I had the worst migraine I've had in a very long time. And it made me very, very sick to my stomach. And actually, I got sick. And that's the first time that's happened in quite a while. So that's why I haven't been vlogging. So this is really the first time that I've worn makeup in over a week. So, but I'm back. I'm gonna actually leave the house today. I'm kind of excited. I'm going grocery shopping, not a terribly exciting adventure, but I may take you with me if I'm brave enough to hold the camera through the store. I honestly don't really care what people think of me, so if they think I'm crazy, that's fine. Anyway, so I showed you what my lovely darling kitty did to my MacBook charger. So I won't be using my computer until the charger arrives tomorrow because my computer is dead. But thankfully, I do most of my editing on my iPad, so I will still be able to work on vlogs and things. I have not gotten the call that my classroom is ready to be gotten into yet to start putting things away, which is probably okay because I really kind of need to be away from there for a while after, you know, being immersed in it for 10 months. So that's probably all right. I've showed you that I've been organizing my house. I have cleaned up in my bedroom, but there are still little odds and ends, like little piles that I need to go through and sort and get rid of things and then figure out where to put them. Also, I cleaned out my pantry. That was a huge undertaking and very hot because the air, there is a vent in there, but it wasn't as cool in there as the rest of the house. And so it got kind of warm and stuffy in there. But I did have my awesome music blasting, so that made it a lot more fun. It was amazing, the outdated boxes of food and things like that I had in there, like lots and lots of cereal. My daughter's notorious for going, ooh, I really like this cereal. I'd like to get it. Okay, we have 4 boxes at home. Oh, I promise I'll eat this. And she does have good intentions. I'm sure she does intend to eat it, but you know, just like everything else, you kind of get tired of the same old thing. Or as a teenager, she doesn't generally eat breakfast during school. And so they would just sit there and sit there and sit there and nobody else would eat them either. And then they would get stale. So lots and lots and lots of cereal was discarded in my cleaning process. My poor husband thankfully had a truck and he was able to cart off the bags and bags and bags of bad food. Not gross, like nasty food, but like stale crackers, stale cereal, stale pretzels, just things like that that we've had in the pantry for a very long time. And if you ever watched my teaching on an e-scooter vlog, you'll know that I wasn't able to walk on my right foot for about a year. And so I was on an e-scooter and unable to get completely down into the pantry. And when it's nice and tidy, I promise I will show you what it looks like. But right now it's not company worthy, right? So I don't want to show it to you right now. But it's like a walk-in closet with shelving that I put my food in. I was unable to get my scooter in all the way, and so when I would bring things home from the grocery store, I would just set them in the bags on the floor, thinking and asking that the other 2 inmates of my house, inmates, it sounds like we're in a prison, sorry, the other 2 inhabitants, there we go, of my house, the humankind, were not putting things away for me either. So it got kind of messy. So that was a big deal to just kind of sort through what was in there. I had things from like Christmas a year ago, from when I came home on Christmas break, because I just dumped it there on the way into the house because the pantry is right off the garage. So you park in the garage, you come into the house, and you walk through the pantry and laundry area, then you go into where I am now. So that tended to be a dumping ground. So there are all kinds of things in there that really probably shouldn't be in a pantry. So that's something else to deal with. But it's getting so much better. And I even got little curtains for my laundry area. And I got one of those little pull-out space-saving shelf things. I'll try to link that below. I got it from Amazon. It was like around $25. Do It on a Dime just showed one of those on her organizing a smaller space videos just recently. So if you saw it on there, that's the exact thing that I got. It's a little white plastic snap together 3-level shelf that has wheels, and it fits in between my washer and dryer, which is just so awesome. And so now my laundry detergent and my little smelly beads that make the clothes smell good and my fabric softener are all right there where I could just grab it down the line, boom, boom, boom. It's amazing. I love it. Plus I have some cleaners on the other shelves and like my Swiffer duster. There's Boo. It just makes it really nice. And then I can use the shelving, and my husband, he's amazing, got another shelf to put above the shelf that was already built into the laundry area that we have. And so now we have two shelves because it was a very tall space and it was kind of wasted. And there's a lot of space from the shelf to the ceiling still. So we put another wire shelving shelf on there that we got from Lowe's. And now we have twice as much storage up there. So we can put, like, I like to keep our swim bag in there so we can just grab it when we want to go to the beach or if we go to a hotel for the pool. So it's got our swimsuits and our swimming flip-flops and our towels and cover-ups and everything all in one bag, just ready to go. So whenever we get home from a vacation, I just wash everything, shove it back in the bag, stick it up on the shelf. It's ready to go. Just throw it in the car. It's really handy. Plus I've got like extra hand soaps and paper towels and like cleaning rags, lost socks that we use for dusting, things like that can be discarded if they get nasty enough. So it's kind of nice to have that extra storage, plus like batteries and light bulbs and things like that you don't want knocked around in a closet, but you want to be able to get to them quickly, and you don't want the cats to get in because this pantry is behind a door, so they can't get in there unless we let them in there, which is good. What else have I been up to? A lot of watching YouTube. I have found so many awesome new teacher vloggers. It's so cool. I think I find someone new almost every day, which is really exciting. And I've been subscribing to all these new people, and I've had a lot of people start subscribing to me, which is very exciting. So thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm happy that you're here. It's great that we're able to share with each other. And if you are watching this and you know of a teacher vlogger that's awesome, that maybe isn't out there as much as some because maybe they're newer, could you link them below? That way the rest of us can check them out too, because I'm always looking for more ideas and more teacher friends out in the vlogging community. It really is a nice place to share ideas and to vent a little bit maybe, and to encourage each other mostly, and get new ideas from other parts of the country and even different parts of the world. I just recently subscribed to Teaching Tales. That she's in Sydney, Australia, and I believe she was teaching second grade. I know she moved schools for this school year that she's in now, and I'm not really sure. I think she might be teaching first grade now, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that, and I apologize if I have the wrong grade level. But she's amazing, and she just got a new cute little corgi puppy named Waffles. She was precious. She was a little stinker on her video when she was telling her Q&A things, but hey, that's kind of the way it goes with the little furries. Also, I just found Life in Kafoople Land, and she is in, I can't remember how they call it, South Wales? There's another piece to that. It's like an N. New South Wales, that's what it's called. So she's awesome. She has such a variety of great ideas in her videos. I mean, very helpful things. And things that I'm like, oh wow, I really wish that somebody would have told me that when I was a new teacher. And I'm not the typical right out of a college teacher. I wouldn't say a career before I began teaching, but I had a different career path in mind. And I kind of went into this a little bit on my Teaching Tech vlog, but I'll just tell you just a little snippet, and I'm not going to ramble on, hopefully. But I originally went to school to be a music major. I had a scholarship to a local college, and so I got 2 years free. And I took a bajillion hours. Oh my goodness, I'd have special permission from the president of the college because I was taking like 26 hours. It was insane. But as a music major, you take your core classes, but you have to take also like voice lessons and whatever instrument you play lessons, and you're in all the choirs and the specialty choirs and this, that, and the other, and you go traveling around and do singing and things like that. So I was a vocal major, and I got my associates in music there. Then my family and I moved to a new town, and they had a college there, a four-year college, and so I ended up transferring to that one. And at that point, I decided I didn't really want to be a teacher. I didn't know what I was going to do with my music degree, but I didn't want to be a teacher. And so I didn't really continue the music degree. I decided I wanted to be pre-med because I've always been fascinated with the health field, and I've always loved how the body systems work, and I've just always been interested in that kind of thing in the medical field. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just, be a doctor. And so I started taking my pre-med classes. Love them. I love my genetics class. I love my anatomy and physiology class, all those kind of things. But then I realized, oh my goodness, I'm going to be in school forever, and I'm going to be in like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt by the time I get out. And so, is this really what I want to do? And so I just decided, you know, I'm just going to take a break from school. I'm going to just work. I'm going to live in my apartment. I'm going to see how things are. So I took a break from school for about, I don't know, a year or two. And then I decided, okay, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. So eventually, I ended up moving to another town even through the job that I had. I worked at a pizza place, and this person had 3 different franchises in 3 different towns. And so he was opening up another one. So I decided to move to a different town where they had the same store, but a different building, if that makes sense. It was owned by the same owner, and it was the same restaurant, but a new opening in a new town. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, so I just kind of moved around in the little 3 restaurants that he had. And eventually ended up going back to school to the 4-year college that I had left previously, and decided to just finish my music degree. And I was just going to be a church minister of music because I thought, oh, that I really enjoy singing in church. I really love choir. That's my passion. I really love doing cantatas, and I love doing the choral music in church services and things. So that's what I'll do. So I started on that path. And I realized that was going to be a little bit difficult to get into, and it probably wasn't going to be enough to live on. Usually music ministers have a side job, like a lot of times they're a music teacher during the week and they're the music minister on the weekends. And so I realized, well, that's probably not going to be enough to support me. And so I thought, well, maybe I should just get my education degree. So I went into music education, started doing some practical things where you go into schools and you see how they run things, and you do little lessons with the kids and things like that. Well, I thought, since I loved high school music the best and the contests and all the little special things you can do, I thought, oh, I want to be a high school music teacher. So I did one of my practical observation things in a high school choir. Well, I'll just let you know I'm not a high school choir teacher, and there's a reason why. The class that I was in was freshman girls, and I'm sorry, but freshman girls are not the kindest people on the planet. So my cooperating teacher that I worked with, it was her last year. She was retiring. She had kind of just, I think, adopted the attitude of, I just need to make it through the year. I just need to make it through the year. I'm not going to make any waves. I'm not going to let things get to me. You know, I'm just going to make it until I retire in May. And unfortunately, she allowed those freshman girls to be so disrespectful and such an attitude toward the teachers, just any teachers really, but especially her, because she just kind of let them get away with it because she kind of had given up and didn't really put up a fight about it or put any effort into stopping it because she just wanted to make it through. And so I realized right then, this is not for me. I mean, I probably could have done it because I would have done things differently, obviously. I would have, talked to them and said, this is a place of respect. We're here to enjoy music, blah, blah, blah. But being just a college student, I didn't have the authority, or I didn't have any right, really, to say anything to them because I was just an observer mostly. I kind of helped her out a little bit, but I wasn't the teacher. I wasn't in charge of anything. I wasn't the student teacher. And so I just kind of had to sit there and grit my teeth and clench my fists and just pray, Lord, help me not say anything. Please help me not say anything. And please help me not give dirty looks, because I have a tendency to not realize what my face is doing sometimes. And I react on my face. And my emotions come right through. And so I tried not to indicate that I was having less than kind thoughts about them when they were acting like that. So I decided, I think I'll go into elementary music. And so that's what I decided to do. I went into an elementary classroom and kind of enjoyed what they did, but I am not a good piano player. I'm sorry. I was a flute player from 5th grade all the way through college, and I've sung ever since I could make a note in my voice. So probably since I was 3, I've sung. So I'm just not a piano player. I just cannot get my hands to work together in harmony, literally. So I was not proficient at the piano. And so I just kind of gave up because I don't know what it's like in other places. I'm sure it's probably very similar, but to get a music degree, you have to pass a piano proficiency exam. There was no way in this earth ever in my lifetime that I would ever have enough time to devote to actually being proficient on the piano, because it just wasn't my thing. I can play my part and I can play someone else's part at the same time, like 2 parts at the same time. But if you put the other hand with me, it's a whole other ball game. They're doing their own thing and they're not cooperating, and it's not a good thing. So I knew that wasn't going to work. So I'm like, well, great. I'm not going to be a music teacher now. What am I going to do? Okay, well, I'll just drop the music part. That'll be like my minor or something. And then I'll just go into elementary education, which meant that I had to take some different classes other than the ones I'd already taken. So I had to add on. Anyway, this is a very long story, getting longer. I'm going to try to wrap it up here. Ended up getting very, very, very sick. I went on a choir trip with my college choir to England, and we got to sing in some amazing, beautiful places, some cathedrals. We got to see palaces. It was so amazing. But that, and I'm not saying that I got this, but this was at the time of the mad cow disease craziness. If you remember that, that kind of dates me a little bit because I'm in my 40s. But that's when all the mad cow disease crazy paranoia was around. And I remember seeing billboards all over England saying, eat beef, it's safe. And I'm like, okay, because you put it on a billboard, I'm going to eat beef. Sure. Well, no. Anyway, so I ended up getting some horrid, like, international virus or something on this trip. And I got really, really, really sick to the point where they had to call a doctor to my hotel room to check on me because I was so sick. I was so weak. I couldn't stand. I was very pale. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to drink. It was just awful. And I felt terrible. And this is all in the midst of being on this amazing international trip with my choir. It stunk really bad. Well, ever since that time, I have had health problems. I didn't have health problems before that, but I've had health problems ever since that. And so that was like the catalyst to a whole slew of other issues that I won't go into because it's kind of boring. And I'm dealing with it, so it's fine. Anyway, so because I got sick, I was unable to finish school. And I just started working at a library, just a local library in the town that I lived in for a while. And I ended up meeting my husband. We got married, moved to his town, went on with life. I was a daycare teacher for a while. I really, really enjoyed that through my church. And I had the 3- and 4-year-olds, which I loved because they could actually do some things. I taught them how to cut. I taught them how to write. We did projects. We did little lessons. I made lesson plans. I went, oh, this is really, really cool. I'm really enjoying this. I think I want to finish my degree and be a teacher now. And so that was really cool, but it wasn't good timing because it does cost money to go to school. And at that point I was married. We were trying to buy a house, saving money for that. I didn't want to put the financial strain on us for trying to pay for my school and buy a house. And so I just kind of put that on the back burner. And then we had our daughter, and I stayed home with her. I'm so blessed that I was able to do that. I really wish that all mothers could do that if that's what they want to do. I'm not saying that you have to or that you should, but if you are able to, it's amazing. It's amazing. And you can't replace that, and you can never go back and change it. So I was really, really glad that we made that decision ahead of time. That's why we didn't move to a nicer house when she was little, because I was not working. Obviously, I was a stay-at-home mom, and so that's how we were able to do that. Okay, so, but when she started Jumpstart Kindergarten, I loved it. I took her to school, and I talked to the teacher, and I said, hey, if you ever need any help with anything, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'd be so happy to come up here and help you with anything that you need. And she took me up on it, and I really enjoyed helping in the classroom. So I became the room mom, which they don't really have that during like summer school, but I did help with little projects and stuff and kind of corralling children at times and like little party type things and stuff like that. And then when my daughter went into first grade, that summer before, the summer of Jumpstart Kindergarten, I decided I got to go back to school. I'm gonna love this. And so I decided I would substitute teach at that school, and that would kind of supplement our income while I wasn't working a full-time job, and then I could go back to school. So that's what I did. Anyway, so while my daughter was in kindergarten and first grade, I finished my teaching certification. And so I have a Bachelor of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, which is no longer a degree offered at the university I went to, but anyway, whatever. And then I got my teaching certification for grades 1 through 6. And then I was able to start my job, and that's where I am now. So that was kind of a rambly story. I apologize if that kind of was twirly. That is why this video is going to be titled Too Many Browsers Open at the Same Time, because that's kind of how my brain is working right now. I don't know, when I'm out of school, I feel like I don't have as much of a focus as I do when I'm in school, because when you're teaching in the midst of it, you have all these things that you have to do. You like really don't have much of a choice in what you're doing, because you need a lesson plan, you need to get your room ready, You need to get your students under control, got to get yourself together, you know, get into a routine, all that. In the summer, everything totally changes. Like it's like somebody put on the brakes and went, "Boop," pulled you out of your life and dropped you in a whole new life. And you have to kind of refigure out how you're going to be for that summertime, which I'm not complaining. I totally enjoy sleeping in and be able to watch YouTube when I want to, go to the bathroom when I want to, eat when I'm hungry, drink as much water as I want to, and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, I don't have a bathroom break for 6 hours, things like that. But it is an adjustment because you don't have that schedule anymore. You don't know exactly what you're going to do every day. You really do lose track of the days. It's very strange. The only reason that I try to keep track of days is because of appointments and such. So that's kind of important to be somewhere when you're supposed to be. Anyway, and my hair is getting really long. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a hair appointment tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. That's, you know, the one reason this week I need to know what day it is. Plus then I need to know when my Blue Apron box is coming. And I might film a Blue Apron meal prep cooking thing. I don't know. Depends on how it goes. If that works out well, I did one last night and it was really good. It was a strip steak with butter lettuce and a walnut blue cheese dressing. Yeah. And then I added green beans because my husband is just not a vegetable person. He will eat like 3 vegetables, corn, potatoes, and green beans, and that's about it. And so my daughter is a vegetarian. My husband is basically a carnivore, and I eat everything. So it makes it hard for me to cook because my husband basically just eats meat and the 3 vegetables. My daughter eats no meat, and she'll eat practically any vegetable. So if I could put those 2 people together, they'd be like the perfect person, and then I could cook anything. But, you know, whatever. That's kind of the way it is. So when I cook my meals, my husband will eat the meat part, and then I'll throw in some green beans or something for him. And then my daughter will eat the vegetable part, and then we'll try to throw a protein of some kind in for her. And then I just eat whatever's left after the madness. So, but Blue Apron is really cool. I'm not here to plug Blue Apron by any stretch. There are lots and lots of home food delivery services that you can check out. I had heard about it before, but I didn't really try it because I didn't really know much about it. And I thought, oh wow, that's for people that, you know, I don't know. I think I had a negative opinion of it. Almost like, oh my gosh, almost kind of like how lazy can you be? You can't even go to the grocery store and get your own food. But hello, I'm here to tell you, it's amazing. It's amazing. I get so tired of having to figure out what to make because I have these 2 hugely picky eaters that drive me bananas. And so I just kind of gave up. And then we were just eating, like, honestly, crap. We were eating crap. I'll just be honest. Lots of processed stuff, frozen stuff, fast food, just junk. And no wonder we felt like crud, because you put crud in, you get crud out. That's kind of how it works. So I learned more about Blue Apron from LaTanya on Smarty Style. And if you're not following her, you really, really should. You should subscribe to her because she's really cool. I really enjoy watching her. So shout out to LaTanya out in California. Thank you for getting me started on Blue Apron. I'm loving it. Yeah, it takes the guesswork out of what I'm going to make. I don't have to go get the food. It comes to me in a refrigerated box with little ice packs on the bottom of it. Everything is there, already bagged up for you. All you have to do is like wash the produce, which is like no big deal, and you chop it up, okay? You pat down your meat, you season it, you cook it all. It's like 30 minutes. I think the most time of any of the meals I've done was 45 minutes. So between 30 and 45 minutes, and you've got a home-cooked meal, totally fresh ingredients from scratch. It's amazing. And they're like chefs that come up with these recipes, so how can you go wrong with that? You take the guesswork out of menu planning because it's already done. You can pick which 3 meals that you want each week on the website. You pick what day you want them delivered. They come to your house. I mean, what could be better than that? So that was kind of like a commercial for Blue Apron that I didn't really intend, but there it is. Just my personal opinion. I haven't been disappointed with any of the meals. Some of the meals were a little, not exactly our taste, but still I liked it. I just didn't love it. You know what I mean? Because we're a little, I don't know how to explain that. You know, we all have different tastes, and some were not exactly my taste particularly, but they were okay, if that's what makes sense. I don't know. I'll just leave it like that. I may take you to the grocery store with me, as I mentioned earlier, to get some just like exciting things like milk and cheese and things that we're out of. Fun, you know, normal life. But so anyway, that was a lot of information in one little video. So I hope I didn't bore you too much. I hope that you stuck around. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. I will talk to you later and let you know what's going on. See you later.